Good morning. I just want to share a video about money management and Mr. Woods. Now, he did a video recently with his wife, and he talked about how they had their taxes raised, or basically their mortgage raised by a significant amount. And I obtained records because he had shared that with Miss April Chapman. And he had told her that his mortgage in Houston went from $1,800 to $2,600. She has the screenshots and the video. These are receipts. And I did some research, and usually, that's really high. And usually, taxes go up. From what I could see in the state of Texas, it's usually, and it's about the same where I'm from, a 10% cap. All right, now listen. I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, but from 1,800 to 2,600, that's more than 10%. And that's a $800 jump. But he had told her that, and she believed him. And she said, I should have done my homework, but I just blindly believed him. Maybe that would be another reason why she no longer could follow him, because she's like, I can't follow that. That's not true. Logic would tell you that a mortgage would never go up that amount, especially when it did, because there's a 10% cap according to Texas law. So let me just give you a couple of things to think about, and if you're following him. And there's also just a thought and a question. He had raised money for his daughter to go to camp, and he had a GoFundMe to help his daughter go to camp. Now there is a question out there. First off, why aren't you paying for your own kid to go to camp? And secondly, did you ever use that money for your daughter to go to camp? You have receipts on that. So let's just go into a little of the passage here. And this is in the Proverbs. And chapter 13, I believe. Yep, chapter 13. Starting in verse 15. Good sense wins favor, but the way of the treacherous is their ruin. And everything the prudent acts with knowledge, but a fool flaunts his folly. A wicked messenger falls into trouble, but a faithful envoy brings healing. Poverty and disgrace come to him who ignores instruction, but whoever heeds reproof is honored. Think about that. Poverty and disgrace comes to him who ignore instruction. I just wonder, Mr. Woods, did your mortgage really go up $800? And we have receipts that we'll gladly put up if you'd like, of you telling April Chapman, or was that a lie? Because I see a 10% cap. And you got her for $250, which you said you need help with groceries. And there are others that come forward that say that they've given you $250 to $500. Is that true? Were you kind of using your situation to get help? And can you prove that your mortgage actually went up $800? That's a lot of money. $800 just in 1 month. Usually that's what happens when you get behind on your mortgage and they come at you and they're trying to help you out. But anyways, I digress. Let me just give you another passage here, and I want you to think about this. And I'm not doing this I'm just doing this because I think he swindles people out of money. So, and he accuses. One thing to notice, people, the thing that people accuse you of is the very thing they're doing many times. Just think about that. And when they talk about others to you, they're usually talking about you to others. But I think this is very clear in 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8. But if anyone does not provide for his relatives, the idea there for provision is you plan ahead. You see what's going to come up, all right? Especially for the members of his household, for those that you live. So if you're not able to provide and pay, a mortgage, maybe you overestimated what you could afford. You didn't live frugally, I think frugality is something that is really important. I think you're generous with others, but you're frugal with things of yourself. None of it's going to go with you in heaven. So be generous with others, but be frugal on getting stuff for self, because it really gets your eye off the prize anyways, except for good theological books. I think there's a caveat there. While kidding aside, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. I want you to think about that. He's denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. I think there's evidence here that, and gladly provide the information. I believe April Chapman will be having that coming up. And that, I think he lied to her, because I've never heard anybody ever heard of a mortgage going up that amount. And if that's true, and you borrowed money from people, prove it. Or did you sucker them up? And she only gave you $250. I was worried it was a lot more. But that's still a good amount. She had to figure what would it cost for a 1 week's worth of groceries, and she graciously gave you money. How many other people did you swindle out of money just to move your ministry? Are you above reproach? I don't think so. And did you really send your daughter to camp with your GoFundMe? Or did it go somewhere else because you mismanaged your money? So, just a thought, because you're very impulsive in how you respond to people, and usually that transfers to every other area of impulsiveness. You're impulsive with people, you're impulsive with situations, and with finances. So, just throwing out a receipt and just dropping it, laying it as it is. Just remember this: if you can't provide for your own family, you are worse than an unbeliever. That's saying something.